I'd call F&A committee to order. City clerk will note attendance, and if I can get out of this screen, I can go back to my agenda. All right. First order is agenda approval. Are there any alterations or questions regarding to the agenda? No. Did administration want to have an executive session?
At council, yes. Right now, no.
Okay. All right. With that, are there any members of the public wishing to make comment before the committee? Nobody raised their hand. And please note, if you're online, we're not taking online public comments. You can submit them by email or come talk to us. We're friendly people. All right, with that, we'll move on to approval of the minutes dated January 22nd, 2025. Are there any questions or comments in regards to the minutes? Chair has none. And Anita, Gary, you okay with the minutes?
Yep, that's fine. Thanks.
All right, we'll take the minutes as presented, as approved. Therefore, moving on to consideration of claims report dated February 10th, 2025. Chair notes, I've got no emails from other council members or anyone in regards to the claims report. So I've got no questions from there, and the chair personally has no questions. Any other committee members have questions with regards to claims? No. All right. Any objections to taking the claims report as presented? We'll take the claims report as presented and proceed on with it. All right, let's move on to agenda bill 2525. Ooh, there's a song. City Hall hours.
Yes, Chair. I'm gonna talk about history that happened when I wasn't here, so I might mess this up a little bit. But my understanding is, ever since the pandemic, City Hall's been operating on modified hours, and they never went back and amended the municipal code to match that. And what those hours are is from 9 to 2, Tuesday through Thursday. Did I do something wrong? 10 to 2. Sorry, 10 to 2, Tuesday through Thursday. Now that we are fully staffed, the threat of the pandemic has passed. We would like to modify those hours from 9 to 3, Monday through Thursday. And go ahead and do the work and amend the municipal code. The municipal code says 8 to 5, 5 days a week. Currently.
Okay. What's wrong with a 40-hour work week?
Staff is here for 40-hour work week, but there are many alternative schedules. Some people are here 980s, some people are here 410s. And it is efficiency to have Fridays as a focus day for the people that are here so that they can focus on getting caught up before the end of the week.
Questions?
Thank you for a moment. You can circle back to me in a second. Okay, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when the hours were changed, since the municipal code says one thing, but the practice is something different, was that by a directive from the mayor, or it just became the practice?
I don't think any of us were here. Maybe Drew was, but
I was.
I don't know. I don't know how it happened or why it happened. I just know it doesn't match and it bothers me.
Okay.
And there was a pandemic somewhere.
And there's a pandemic somewhere in there.
Figure out what is going on.
Okay, so technically, if we didn't do the amendment, what would actually supposed to occur is 5 days per week from, it says in the code that I'm looking at, 9 to 5.
Okay, 9 to 5, sorry.
Okay, and then if we did this amendment, then it would effectively change it to 4 days a week, knocking a couple hours off the end of the day to end at 3.
No, or you can consider adding an hour on each end, because right now it's 10 to 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about if we didn't do anything, what's supposed to happen is what's in the code.
I don't think that the way, I mean, obviously, if that's council's decision, we will have to change everything and make it work. But as things are currently working, it would be very difficult to meet that obligation.
Okay.
primarily things for like 980s or 410s and Friday as
Correct. Friday is the day that we are minimally staffed. And the other part that wasn't in effect when the code was originally done was a lot of the business with the city was manual. We have pushed a lot of that business online now, and we are pushing even more of it online. So we have less and less visitors coming. Yes.
So then, I understand that what it sounded like was that the reason for making the change was that there was the mismatch of what was happening versus the code. And what it sounds like happened is that the administration then said, okay, well, let's figure out what it actually should be and amend the code. Okay. So then the only other thing that would give me pause is just, is there any, well, I'll just phrase it that way, any demand or noted desire from the public to have longer hours?
There is a desire to have longer hours, but no one has asked us to be here 9 to 5 every day. We are here. We've never turned anybody away. There isn't an employee in this building that does not open the door to help somebody. We have advertised hours when the doors are open. Most people come and do business then, but we've never turned anybody away.
I guess that's my only concern is, obviously it's worse under the current practice than what the code says, but I can imagine a lot of people work during those hours, they get off work, they know that they have to do something at City Hall, they just have time, around 4:30 or something to try to stop by. And that's my concern. So it sounds like, yes, there is a desire for that, but it also sounds like perhaps that can be accommodated if needed.
I would not agree that there's a desire for it because it's very random.
Right.
It's not like on clockwork on this day at 4:30, we need to stand open the door. It's someone knocks and we go and help them. And oftentimes it's, where's the ice cream shop or where's the train station? I mean, very rarely is it, I need to pay my water bill.
right. You can do that online too.
You can do it online. We have the Dropbox outside that a lot of people use. Yeah, I don't believe services are degraded by, and we're trying to serve a little better. We're also trying to keep the door open so the UPS guy can make his deliveries.
So the struggle I'm having is, at least the written commitment is 8 to 5.
9.
9 to 5,
9
sorry.
to 5. The practice is 10 to 2,
3 days a week.
3 days a week.
And
And
we're
what we're talking about is going 9 to 3.
4 days a week.
What about 9 to 5? Again, I'm also concerned about, let's call it the non-commercial citizens who have a job, and if I've got something to do with the city, I've got like 3:30 to 5 to do it in.
We could do 9 to 5. One of the things that affects primarily is Drew's department, because if we have people paying bills up until 5 p.m., we will have staff here till 7 p.m. closing out the drawer that night or making deposits. So that means,
Can't you put up a sign that says any payment after 3 o'clock will be recorded next day?
well, then we got to keep it somewhere secure, and we try not to keep anything in the building. We try to do daily deposits, which is I believe, a policy. It's definitely a best practice security-wise, but I'm guessing it's also existing in our policy somewhere.
I mean, to a large degree, the finance department is the receptionist, right? So you do have a position that is financial specialist L1 that does have to take in cash on a daily basis if there are customers, for example. But they certainly have other activities in which they're encumbered, or their time is encumbered, that they have to focus on that. So the more that we want to emphasize, for example, the front counter work, right, overall, the less time that we're going to have available to handle potentially other projects in the city as well. So they're also important to those certain aspects too. And so it really depends on what council wants to emphasize. We may be able to make that change. We certainly, as recruiting and retention, right, itself, the ability to attract people here to come work for the city of Snoqualmie from places down south is certainly valuable and helps to broaden our range too. And part and parcel of this is much like what we're experiencing with the federal government right now, is the modification to work policies and things like that, where we're gonna have to be a lot more tight when it comes to that, if we do decide to move to the 9 to 5 schedule Monday through Friday. So,
Or 10 to 5.
and like this, council may want to consider is a gradual change instead of a one size kind of fits all change, because it would be very abrupt for us to work with our staff to make those modifications happen. So we could, for example, make the king come back in 3 months if we have a suggestion to increase the hours, or if we are seeing a greater impact with the public. Maybe they are taking advantage of that additional hour at the end of, between 2 and 3, or even earlier. Maybe we can come back in 3 months and have that discussion then, but this is certainly of value.
So I'm having problems with contradiction, guys. At 2 o'clock, is the front desk not manned?
At 2 o'clock, the desk, there's a bell. Someone can come in and ring the bell. Miles will come out and answer those questions. We're taking payments. That is what that's what the customer.
Right, because I'm hearing you telling me we close up shop 2-ish. I'm hearing you tell me we never turn anybody away. Those are contradictory statements.
Well, it's,
If this is merely not, if this is not setting necessary individual work hours, but merely setting service availability up till 5 o'clock at night,
so let me
I'm
modify my
still lost
statement.
to what the issue is.
You don't close up shop at 2 o'clock. No one's going home. They're still here. They will come and answer if they need to. If you're knocking at the front door out here, they will come and answer. I will come and
So
answer.
what are we not doing from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock that this would say we're still not doing?
If we are manning the desk, business licenses would be impacted. What else is Miles, tax receipts?
Focusing on developing the fee schedule right now. Active.
Those are the things that happen when he's not manning the desk.
But you can still do it by the bell. I mean, have the bell out there, say ring for service, and he could still be back. So I'm confused of. We don't turn anybody away, so we're doing it now. We just have weird time stated. And we're setting expectations of the community of this is when we're available.
Which keeps the others to a minimum. If we advertise, there could be additional distractions. I mean, we've never turned anybody away. That's not a contradiction. We've all answered the door and helped people. That's why we're here. We are here to help people. But we're also trying to handle as much work as we can with the staff as lean as possible.
Go ahead.
Okay, so then it sounds like could be something that would be similar to what we have now, but we could fix the official hours. Would be saying 9 to 3, but if someone came to the door at 4, knocking, ring the bell, someone would still answer.
Of course.
Take phone calls as well. So there's a lot of instances. Receiving the phone call, go downstairs, and serving that customer.
And if a.
Hey, Drew, oops, I can't hear.
You need to get a microphone, Drew. If a customer needed to meet with us at 6:30 at night, we would set up an appointment and meet with them at 6:30 at night. We would not tell them, no, you need to come during business hours. I mean, that's my direction to the staff.
Okay. Kara, do you have any questions or comments? I can't see you right now for some reason.
Yeah, so I'm struggling a little bit with being able to hear, so I'm in on my phone as well. I think my biggest concerns are just going to be ameliorated or addressed to the extent that we're whatever timing it is that we're deciding to go with, just making sure that it's published. I would like the opportunity to come back in a few months to make sure that people are having the opportunity to have their needs met by the city. And I do appreciate wanting to make sure that staff is able to get to the things that they need to get, but I would assume that there would be the same volume of people coming in, whether the hours are from 10 to 2 or greater. So there would still probably be the same number of distractions. It would just be over a smaller period of time. It is important to make sure that we have the municipal code matching up with what we're actually doing though. So I would certainly like to see it addressed one way or another.
And I'm curious what our website says. Does it say anything in regards to this?
I'll look.
Well, that's what I was just,
It's on the front page of the website, near the bottom. Bottom.
I didn't go all the way down.
It says like public.
There we go.
facing.
Yep, that's what it says. Well, it's a very good catch.
Yep, all right, Tuesday through, public facing counter services, Tuesday, Thursday, 10 AM to 2 PM. All right. Okay.
Question online.
Oh, okay, well, who's from
Kara.
Kara? All right, Kara, go ahead.
Thanks.
Kara,
Excuse
you
me.
may-
Can we just add a section that says who they can email to set an appointment, and then maybe that would address the other concerns as well? So that there's just a very clear way for them to get into contact if they do need to come into the city at a different time to pay or to speak with someone.
It's on the front door.
Hmm?
It's on the front door.
Peaceful, when I decide to go to teriyaki on a Sunday, first thing I do is pull out my phone and go Google and find out what the hours are.
But I mean, if somebody comes to the door.
Understood, but be aware, you're immediately telling them.
Add that.
Go ahead, Councilor.
So where it does say public facing counter hours, and then below that the phone, and then the email. So I suppose that does indicate that if you if you couldn't make those hours, you could call the phone number, and then is staff directed that if someone says, I'm not available until 6:30, it would be a massive burden for me to have to come in at some earlier time, that they would say, okay, well, we could set up a meeting then.
Appointment.
An appointment, yeah.
We do that
I-
now.
that would be
I went
fulfilled.
with an extreme example. I doubt,
Right.
but,
We do that now.
but
Okay.
My goal is to provide an extreme level of customer service. Currently, we are not doing that. We're not matching what the code says.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
trying to expand the hours. Still accomplish what we've accomplished through realignments and efficiencies and still get the work done. The thing that just really is against my DNA is the fact it doesn't match the code. So we're trying to amend the code to match practice. As we are doing that,
But kind of have to.
Well-
Now it's exposed. I feel like we would have to do that.
and the request from staff was to add Mondays and to expand the hours accordingly. So that's why the request is crafted this way.
And I'm not saying, I mean, just put a
Go
note
ahead.
in here, something along the lines of for out of hours service from 2 to 5, so not calling you at midnight.
That's
Call or
3 to
email
5.
us. I'm not suggesting that it's a 7x24. Go ahead, Councilor.
Yeah, so I think that with all of that understanding and what the practice is when someone shows up, quote unquote, outside of the official hours, I think that I'm comfortable with this for now. I would like to maybe get a report back at some point in a couple of months to see how it's going, see if there are additional needs from the community that have arisen as a result of the changing hours. And definitely agree on the Friday thing. I understand that our staff definitely need that time based on what I know about their work.
Kara, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right, so we'll take that forward. I'm assuming non-consent. So
Yeah.
this is kind of a public facing thing for,
Oh, it's an ordinance anyway. Good.
huh?
It's an ordinance anyway.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. I gotta get back to this one. All right, with that, that was our one agenda bill. We have discussion of upcoming agenda items, informational item, but no items. So we'll move right into a review of draft city council. And that is on page 28. All right, so we're talking of starting at our normal time, 7 o'clock. We'll have call to order, pledge of allegiance, approval of the agenda, public hearings, presentations, fire department badge pinning ceremony, appointments to Arts Commission, and proclamation Twin Peaks Day. Time for public comments. We'll go consent agenda, approve city council meeting minutes, claims report, and we'll move to ordinances, city halls, which we just talked about. And then 25, 26 code enforcement and nuisance abatement cost recoupment and process clarification. This one came up through community development.
That's right.
We'll have discussion at that stage, and community development will have termination of Snoqualmie Ridge Water System Developer Extension Agreement.
That was moved to consent.
It's on consent now.
That's
City-
on consent now?
Yes.
Yep, that was.
City Attorney Burke has her hand up.
Oh. Good turn.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing. The termination of the Snoqualmie Ridge Water System Developer Extension Agreement should be on the consent agenda.
Yep, that's right.
Thank you.
Also coming out of community development. All right, then we'll have Parks Public Works resolution accepting a loan from the Department of Ecology. We reviewed that in Parks and Public Works, Finance Administration at this stage. Oh, we already have the ordinance up above, so no other agenda items. We'll have committee of the whole. Mayor's report, committee liaison, executive session, and then after the executive sessions, we'll have adjournment. Any questions, comments, or alterations requested? Okay. We'll take it. And with the one noted change of moving the termination of Snoqualmie Ridge Water System Developer Extension Agreement up into consent, we'll take the agenda as approved. All right, any other business come before the committee? Okay. All right, with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Anybody object?
No objection.
All right, we are adjourned.